Hello, I'm Lara Kılçarslan and this is Newsfeed, your dose of what people are talking about online. We begin our show with Israel's sustained aggression in Gaza. Ignoring aid agencies' calls for a ceasefire, Tel Aviv has stepped its onslaught in the besieged territory. And Palestinians trapped there are facing Israeli bombs and tanks from all sides. Sustained attacks for more than a year has killed 43,000 people, mostly women and children, and over 100,000 are injured. Gaza's population is almost entirely displaced. Tel Aviv continued to strike schools and hospital precincts where people are taking refuge. Despite a U.S. ultimatum to increase aid, food supplies in Gaza remain critically low. Obtaining essentials like a loaf of bread literally means having to battle hundreds of other starving people. And trying to escape the strikes, yet again, is taking a toll on most people.
من ايش تبكي؟
عشان من أعرف من ندم وتمسك كل يوم من دم.
وين رجلك؟ وين رجلك مليانة؟ فيها دم، يعني أنت تعبانة من المشي؟
بعرفش وين احنا رايحين.
يلا ربنا مستعان إن شاء الله.
While ordinary Gazans may not be able to challenge Israel, pro-Palestinian supporters are using the power to hold Tel Aviv accountable. Students at the University of Melbourne are taking their university to the International Criminal Court, claiming it has links with weapon manufacturers and therefore complicit in Israel's genocide in Gaza. A student group from the university called UNIMELT for Palestine says it has collected evidence over the past year to back its claim.
We have begun the process of referring university leadership, led by Duncan Maskell, to the International Criminal Court.
Over the last year, we've collated evidence of the University of Melbourne's partnerships with weapons companies that are supplying Israel, as well as their partnerships with universities that operate on occupied land. We've contacted the university, we've tried to meet with them, and they've ignored our concerns. So we've taken the step of writing a communique to the Office of the Prosecutor for the ICC, and we will be submitting evidence to show that the university is complicit in genocide and war crimes that have been committed by Israel. And we will be asking the Office of the Prosecutor to investigate those crimes and to hopefully refer the university and Duncan Maskell to the ICC.
Over the past year, we've been working tirelessly to get our university to recognise their complicity in the genocide in Gaza and cut their ties with weapons manufacturers. We've held die-ins, protests, we've had open letters, we had an encampment, and we've been stonewalled by a bureaucratic institution.
In less than 2 weeks, Election Day will decide the fate of the US. And both Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are making their final pitches in the Battleground States. With around 244 million Americans eligible to vote, over 30 million have already cast their ballots. Donald Trump appears to be having the momentum, leading Kamala Harris in the recent polls. As both candidates go all out to win over undecided voters, things are increasingly getting personal. At a CNN town hall in Pennsylvania, that's one of the key battleground states, Harris didn't hold back, calling Trump a fascist. Minutes later, Trump took to X and Truth Social, accusing Harris of raising her rhetoric out of desperation, claiming she'd call him everything from Adolf Hitler to whatever else comes to her warped mind. Earlier this week, it was Trump who fired first, labeling Harris as the worst, slow, and low IQ. The stakes are clear. Both are doubling down, warning that the other can't be trusted to lead.
Being president of the United States is probably one of the hardest jobs in the world, and so we really do need to ask if he's exhausted being on the campaign trail. Is he fit to do the job?
I'm not even tired. I'm really exhilarated. You know why? We're killing her in the polls because the American people don't want her. She didn't pass her bar exam. She's not a smart person. She's not a person that should represent our country.
The campaign trail is in overdrive. Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Barack Obama, making their first joint appearance in Georgia, amped up the crowd with stark warnings about a potential Trump comeback. And Obama even brought some flair to the rally, throwing down a few lines from Eminem to get the crowd hyped.
I gotta say, you know, I have done a lot of rallies, so I don't usually get nervous. But I was feeling some kind of way following Eminem. I mean, I notice my palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, vomit on my sweater already, mom's spaghetti. I'm nervous, but on the surface I look calm and ready to drop bombs, but I keep on forgetting.
Trump, too, reached out to the ordinary folks in the key swing state of Pennsylvania. The Donald donned an apron and dished out fries at a Golden Arches franchise.
Well, I'm looking for a job, and I've always wanted to work at McDonald's. I never did. President Trump! Well, that's a good-looking group. Hello, everybody. I could do this all day. I wouldn't mind this job. I like this job. I think I might come back and do it again. Thank you. Look at that. Mr. Look at that. How are you?
Thank you, Mr. President.
Nice to see you.
You made it possible for ordinary people like us to meet you.
You're not ordinary.
I mean, thank you so much for everything you're doing.
I can see.
We pray for you, and you are the type of person we want to be the president.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice. Thank you very much.
The shift of about 30 minutes appeared to stun drive-thru customers, and based on videos released, appears to have been well received. But an E. coli outbreak at other McDonald's outlets quickly overshadowed Trump's campaign efforts. And Trump supporters say the timing of the outbreak is no coincidence and is a conspiracy orchestrated by the Blues. On a more serious note, McDonald's is facing a deadly crisis in the United States. An E. coli outbreak linked to the fast food chain's Quarter Pounders has caused at least dozens of cases across 10 states, including one death. Although McDonald's temporarily removed the burgers from its menu, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention warned that the extent of the outbreak was likely much higher. E. coli is a group of bacteria that can cause infections in the gut, urinary tract, and other parts of one's body.
So they are saying that the beef patties and the slivered onions are the two things that could be the culprit behind the E. coli outbreak. They are calling it fast moving.
President Joe Erlinger said, "We are very confident that you can go to McDonald's and enjoy our classics without getting sick, except for the Quarter Pounder, which will temporarily be removed from McDonald's menu." Most of these infections were in Colorado, Nebraska, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, Montana, Oregon, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. But they could be in even more places as this continues to grow.
And following E. coli outbreaks for the last, 5-10 years, whether it was Chipotle, Jack in the Box, or now McDonald's, most of the time the E. coli that gets into food and contaminates our food is not usually from the meat itself, because the meat industry practice has become super strict in the past 10 years. It typically has to do with cow farms being way too close to agriculture farms, in which the cow's feces ends up in the water system, and the water shoots out from the sprinklers on top of the lettuce, and that E. coli ends up coating the lettuce, which then ends up getting people sick because lettuce is kept at, cold temperatures.
American sports are another level compared to the rest of the world. With dozens of cameras covering almost every game in every big competition, fans back home get to see every angle. But those fans are aging, and the younger crowd isn't that fond of TV anymore. So let's get Talha to take us through why basketball and why the NBA is king in the land of the interwebs.
Sports fan or not, when you think about the NBA, you think about this.
The whole way, top Tice late.
Athleticism with a basketball to the fullest. And the game's rules dictates every possession shouldn't last more than 24 seconds. So quick maths, and that means bite-sized videos galore for social media. Just take Steph Curry in the 2021-2022 season, for example. From October all the way to the Golden State Warriors championship in June, he was the NBA's golden boy on the internet, generating a whopping 1.4 billion views with plays like this.
Guarding it from the start, Wiggins again. Here's Curry for the record. It's good! There it is! Stephen Curry! The all-time three-point king in the NBA!
But poetry in motion, watching humans do amazing things on a basketball court wasn't always this great. The HD revolution in sport and the introduction of wider 16:9 screens boosted the popularity of a whole lot of sports, including basketball. More pixels meant more viewers. But nowadays, with vertical videos, although it may seem a little counterintuitive, it's helping the NBA bring in even bigger crowds. Whoa! Big names like Steph, like the King LeBron James, and now his son Bronny, draw big crowds and lots of clicks. No surprise there. And the NBA is reaping the benefits of their stars being the faces of the show. It has 44% more fans on social media than all the other major leagues in the US combined. That's American football, baseball, hockey, and soccer. Football. Now, the Super Bowl may break single-game TV records, but again, it's the star factor, the players, retired, old, young, and new, some who've started doing podcasts. That brings in a collectively bigger audience.
And he's like, yo, Cat, I ain't gonna lie, man. I need some cookies, man.
He ain't about to kill me, bro. I swear to God, I play, so I've never played this hard. Stevens, after the game came in, that's the best defense I ever played. Steph Curry had 44.
So with a grueling 82-game season ahead, get ready for the global brand of basketball to grow and the basketball plays to keep breaking the internet.
And that's our show. Find our latest stuff on YouTube and do subscribe to our channel. See you soon.